we will head to track for the Argentinian Grand Prix. Which a little bit of the formation lap again, just so we can snap a good thumbnail for the video. As soon as this grid gets out of the way, we'll be able to see part. There we go. The graphics in this game have very much impressed me. And number 13 there is getting a little bit out of shape just on the warm-up lap. That rear end would have been all over the place. Can't quite decide what he's doing. There it is, the beautiful DHL Honda powered Moto 3 team. Not much of a designer, but I do like the simplicity of the colour scheme on that bike. I think that will do as a perfect thumbnail there. So we will head to track.
Riders just have one more thing on their mind now, being the first to cross the finish line.
Yeah, let's get this race out of the way and up the difficulty so we can make it a bit more interesting. Five-second time penalty. I forgot I turned it to a manual start, so I can't just rev her up. So we're going to have to try and get ahead and pull that gap. I don't see that being a huge problem. We don't want to be on the outside either. If someone inside drops us, we're going to get wiped out. Saying that, we're heading to the outside for the next corner. Try and catch them braking. Napping almost. It's worked out quite well. As we're on the back of Masala. I didn't know Curry could ride a motorcycle, but there we go. We've dropped down to 5th place, but how long we'll be there, I do not know. This will be a gauge of the AI's capability now in the race. They're always a lot quicker. I'm still fairly confident we're going to be able to win this race and potentially. Oh no, he's throwing it down. The front end just taken away from us. We're not going to rewind, we're in the race. So now we are pretty much at the back of the grid with light damage. So this is going to turn now into a recovery ride. So this race hasn't been as boring as I thought it may be. So let's get on to catching up the back of the pack and see how many we can surprise on our blue and yellow machine powered by drones. We seem to be catching them fairly consistently. We're not right on the back of them yet. I don't think it's going to take long. I think if we come into the next lap we'll be on the back of them. We've already gained a second on Tay Tay in front of us. They're all very cautious into the hairpin, so we're pretty much back with the pack now for the remaining 4 laps. Let's crack on, let's hope this damage to the bike doesn't affect us too much. It is feeling like it's putting the power down a lot slower than it was. You get all over the curb there, you don't want to do that. They'll be slipping. The ice. Here we go, we're right on the back of the main pack now. You want to try and pick up a tow hitch to help catch up. Shouldn't be too much of an issue. We're not quite there yet, but we're not a million miles off. The guys behind haven't caught us. Again, we're now within a second. 1.3 seconds. It was 2.4, so we've gained a second through the first sector. It doesn't look like it because they've all just buggered off in front of us down that straight. I'm going to try and catch them napping a little bit here. Still not burnt. He's going to put the power down quite like we'd like. So this is a handicap race, but this is now a race as opposed to a Sunday ride. We sneak our way back up into P25 to see how long we can hold that as we get down on the inside there. by Tay-Tay's followed us up there. He was right at the back and he's followed us through up the positions. Oh, it's the back end there, nearly, I believe that was Tay-Tay again. He wallops our rear end. We have to get off the power big time there to try and keep the bike standing upright. We're lifting off very early there, so we will take advantage of that and up the inside we go. And try and get on the back of Pizzardi next. Time's got better than it was in practice, but it's still not quite there. Our whole time was still a full 3 seconds quicker than that. More than that actually, it was a 1:58.57. So our whole time was 5 seconds quicker than the lap. It's just been putting as the best at the race so far. So I don't think we'll be setting the timing screens up here. Now we've got the damage to the bike, but we're going to try and we've damaged the bike even more now, sliding into the back of Koffler. So maybe I have misjudged it, maybe I don't need to upgrade it yet, but that could be the fact we've got a very damaged bike now. It's getting decimated down the straights. I need to work on the engine. The upgrade's coming, it's just not there yet. I need to figure out if there's a way to hire more staff to my team, or if that just comes with time. We snuck it back into P22, but the problem now is we've got no power. Around the corners, I think we'll catch more napping, but as you can see right now, getting absolutely eaten alive in the traction zones. It's the braking zones we're catching up. We accidentally punt him off, we've damaged the bike a little bit more. We really need to be careful with making contact here, because this is going to cost us big time in this race. I think I'll still up the difficulty maybe by 5 notches as opposed to 10 for the next race, and just see how that goes. I need to use Pamo 2 here for the straight just to try and defend. I don't think it's going to do us much good. However, them being very hesitant in the braking zones will. So, keep catching up to this group in front of us in P20 groups, I'm going to call it, but with that damage to the bike, there is just no get up and go out of it at all. Suzuki's gone past us. Aquila nearly went past us. We struggled to get the bike slowed down and turned in again for the turn 1 hairpin. We'll try and get the power down as early as we can with the reduced power. That could work. Our advantage for getting the power down earlier than the rest of them, but as soon as we hit the straights like we're about to in a moment, they're all just going to disappear in front of us. We're going to bump in a power mode 2 again. And then we keep the throttle absolutely pinned through here. Garcia is just disappearing in front of us. We're soon going to have the likes of Suzuki behind us and all of his chums follow through past me down this straight. And there he goes. We'll try and put his toe up to some degree just to help drag this machine up that straight. So, Darren Binder has thrown it down the road. I'm not sure if he was in front or behind. Hopefully in front, so he'll inherit us some places. Again, we just haven't got the power in this engine from the damage with the couple of riders earlier in this race. So I'm just going to try and nurse the bike around this last lap and a half now, I guess. We'll up the difficulty slightly more, and then we will head into the next weekend and see how much difference that has made to the performance of this bike. We get a nice line through this middle sector every time, but that damage is really costing us now for this race. It should have been an easy win. We damaged the bike, we threw it down the road. But we're still trying everything we can to get as high back up the order. Don't forget we have got the 5-second penalty, so although we're fighting with these guys in the final classifications, we're just going to fall backwards. So, hoping we can pull the time out on some of these guys. We almost have to use our bike as a deflective shield, just to sit on the racing line and stop these guys just absolutely tearing it up inside us. put the bike up. We went in a little bit early there. Green Machine and Pizzolo in front, and these two guys, you can see the names, as we're catching up with Valentino's younger brother. I'm not sure of his first name, but nice to see another Rossi name entering the sport. The doctor can't have too long left. He's got to be approaching what his 40s now. If he's not already 40, so how many more years can he keep racing those mighty machines of MotoGP? Still a very talented rider though, and you can't take that away from him. I know we're not going to actually keep these positions, but it's nice to be battling and having to think about where we're positioning the bike as opposed to being so far in front that it doesn't matter. I'll try and put up Suzuki's toe hit. Jump on his inside into the braking zone, try and catch these guys napping too. It's not quite where we've gone, a bit deep. Come round on this final lap. 30 seconds or so to go of this race. Can we catch any of these guys napping? Just for bragging rights more than anything. We've got that 5-second penalty for, I think it was for causing that collision and throwing myself down the road plus another rider, so I think this is going to be our finishing position on the road. Too far behind to try anything here. As late as we can. As we've thrown it down again, so that concrete's our finishing in last, even with our penalty. Not the result we wanted, not the result we needed, but it's the result we have got here today. So, Ryder's looking disappointed. I'm disappointed myself. So, we'll just get straight through to the next race weekend. We're still leading the championship.